American oil production is up by more than 600,000 barrels a day, and we just received from our new friend and partner, Venezuela, more than 80 million barrels of oil. American natural gas production is at an all-time high because I kept my promise to drill, baby, drill. We have an old grid. It could never handle the kind of numbers, the amount of electricity that's needed. So I'm telling them they can build their own plant. They're going to produce their own electricity. It will ensure the company's ability to get electricity while at the same time lowering prices of electricity for you.
President Trump addressing the nation at last night's State of the Union, celebrating his policies bringing back American energy independence and dominance on the global stage. The U.S. oil industry ramping up production this year, drilling for nearly 14 million barrels of oil a day in November of 2025. Joining me right now is the Energy Secretary, Christopher Wright. Mr. Secretary, it's great to have you this morning.
Thanks for having me, Maria. It was
Thank you so
glorious
much.
Night last night.
Tell us about it.
Glorious night.
Give us your reaction.
It was optimistic. It was patriotic. It was looking forward. How can we restore the American dream for everyone? Stop price rises, make America the place people want to invest, so factory jobs, new manufacturing jobs can come back to our country, raise people's wages and lower people's prices, and the Democrats didn't like any of it.
Unbelievable. I mean, how do you continue doing that? I mean, I know you're just back from Venezuela. The president talked about that and the amount of oil that we have gotten so far from Venezuela. Update us.
Yeah, look at this. Venezuela's been going downhill for 25 years. We've tried all different things. It's going to be sanctions, carrots, sticks. Biden took the sanctions off if they had an election. Well, they didn't have a fair election. And nothing has driven them in a positive trajectory. The president just thinks out of the box. He said, we've had sanctions on the oil for years. Let's actually enforce it. Let's put a quarantine, stop the flow of oil, and maybe the dynamic will change. It just changed dramatically. Now they're ramping up production. They're freeing political prisoners, starting to free their press, looking at reforming their laws. They want to go from a criminal state to a positive member of our hemisphere again, and to huge benefits of Americans. When most of the American refineries were built in the 60s and 70s, they were tooled to refine Venezuelan oil. Because at that point in time, Venezuela was the largest crude exporter in the world. And now that oil is flowing into our refineries, going to push down diesel prices, jet fuel prices, gasoline prices, lower prices for Americans, and reduce criminality, reduce mass migration, reduce the running of guns out of Venezuela. Like, this is a win for everyone.
So many great points as a result of energy being the central focus of the president's agenda. Take a look at oil prices this morning in terms of hitting 7-month highs ahead of the nuclear negotiations with Iran tomorrow in Geneva. We're looking at the price at $66.17. What do you want to say about Iran? Investors are fearing military action from either side could disrupt the flow of oil in the Strait of Hormuz.
Yeah, look, tensions in the Middle East are always going to put upward pressure on prices. They're still well below the average during the Biden administration. But look, Iran is the biggest supporter of terrorism in the planet by far. They've made that neighborhood a dangerous place, less welcoming for investment, and less stability in the country. The president's had a very clear position. We cannot have a nuclear-armed Iran. And the progress in that front, I think, has been tremendous. Imagine a peaceful, prosperous Iran.
Amazing. Kevin, weigh in here, because having energy as a dominant part of the president's agenda has impacts in so many levels, as the secretary is telling us.
It's the most important thing. I mean, we all talk in America, you do it every single day, about who's going to capture AI. I mean, you're in a battle for who's ever going to be able to be the victor. Don't really look to the chips. You look to this man next to me, because whoever gets their energy policy right will win the AI battle. And that's why what President Trump has done is tremendous, the way he has shifted the world focus. And what the other thing where the Democrats don't tell you the truth, and where the president was so great, if you want to build a data center, your price is not going to go up because these companies are going to pay for it, but your price actually comes down. Look, I used to live in a state of California. I just watched my energy prices keeps going up because they kept mandating all of renewables, and now it's too expensive to get any new businesses. But you look at these other states that are doing the right things. You look at what the Secretary is doing. He's putting us in a better position to win the AI battle and make America and the world safer.
Such an important point, and the president addressed it last night. Secretary, tell us about the data center build-out.
And Kevin said it right on. Look, if President Trump hadn't have been elected, our DOE study show we would have massive increase in blackouts right now. They were closing power plants, net closing of reliable, affordable power plants. This president kept 17 gigawatts of coal online last year that would have been gone. We would have had hundreds of Americans freezing to death in that big Fern cold weather front we had. Would have been dangerous. Instead, he wants America to lead in AI. He's making it easy to add power capacity and doing deals with the hyperscalers. It's been a dialogue since the day he came in office to say, yes, we want you to lead in AI. Yes, we want more power on our grid, but you have to do it in a way that stops price rises and ultimately drives down electricity prices. We had an announcement yesterday. Indiana has filed a rate case to lower their rates. Georgia and Alabama, we announced deals today to add power, add jobs, and freeze electricity prices for multi-years in the future. It is a transformation from the Biden administration's reduce power availability, drive up costs, and send the AI revolution to China.
Coming up with a solution to this pushback from Democrats that the data center build out is causing electricity prices was so smart of the president to come up with this idea where, OK, you're going to build out a data center. You're going to take on the cost. Here's Bernie Sanders just recently. Here's a senator. Watch.
Yeah. Well, I think one of the things I think we need to do, and right now, among many other things, we're seeing data centers sprouting all over the country, raising electric bills for people in the communities, et cetera. I think we need to be thinking seriously about a moratorium on these data centers. Frankly, I think you got to slow this process down. It's not good enough for the oligarchs to tell us it's coming, you adapt. What are they talking about? They're going to guarantee health care to all people? What are they going to do when people have no jobs? What are they going to do? Make housing free? So I think we need to take a deep breath, and I think we need to slow this thing down. One way to do it would probably be a moratorium on data centers.
Wow, a moratorium on data centers. How does that lead to the U.S. being the #1 player in AI across the world, beating China, Secretary?
So Bernie has it wrong on both points. Number one, no, you don't want China to lead in AI, not just to lose the economic benefits in the United States, but AI is critical for national security. The country that leads in AI is going to be the leading power in the coming century. That country should be the United States. We don't want to export that to China. And he's wrong on electricity prices. This is just selling fear. It's the states like New England and California that have reduced their production of electricity. They have the skyrocketing prices. The states that are embracing growth and new generation, those are the states that can lower their electricity prices.
But the president just took care of it with this new policy.
It's very smart. And I will tell you this. The next year and a half is going to be the critical time period. You got to spend the resources now because you're going to get too far behind. He's pushing us back to the dark ages. He wants China to win with that policy. The president is looking for the future for the next generation to make sure America is still the country leading the world.
Final word on Russia. You have actually been able to get European nations to get them weaned off of Russian oil.
Yes, Russian oil and Russian natural gas. That is a constant dialogue. But yes, America can replace all of the imported Russian gas into Europe. We've replaced most of it so far, but we want to replace all of it. Not only does that benefit American businesses, but it starves the Russian war machine of the funding it needs.
And American natural gas is 40% cleaner than Russian natural gas. So if you care about the environment, you care about American jobs, you're doing the right thing.
Great point. Secretary, it's good to have you this morning. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks so much for your leadership on all of this. Secretary Christopher Wright. We'll be right back. Stay with us.